push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Watson. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to look deep in zone for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Texans 7, Colts 0.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go. 50, plant. You must be dreaming. Jet, fair.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Second and 14. They'll leave it for Hunt, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, That should open up his running game, too. He'll look to throw, and this is incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, but it'll be second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Watson now to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now Hunt. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things bounce.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Preston Williams, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
He'll drop to throw. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Third and long, it's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. DJ Reader. There on the tackle. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
No, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down now, it's Mack, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Brings up third down and 8.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Mack off the draw play, and he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Watson sliding out of the pocket. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Cannon, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got his man. It's Williams. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Gano for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All day, baby, all day, all day, all day. Watch this. Trace on Travis. Get it.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Put that team on the bus. Check, check. X3. 218. Chopper. Let's go.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Campbell making the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And they're not going to get the kick off in time. That's going to set them back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
We ain't begin to tear you up.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That is caught at the 7. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. He finds his man Johnson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Four yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Watson operating from the gun. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Texans. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll run on 1st down with Cannon. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. One more time, it's Cannon. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Who's that? 19! 58, come on! Alert! Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Let's go!
Watson off play action. He's got Fuller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Let's get off the field, D.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run?
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Trenton Cannon with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Gano now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They run again with Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. They run the draw play with Mack. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. On first down, Rose. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready? 70, Indy.
Check 53, Mike. Here we go, let's bring it.
2.
On second down, Johnson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's the backup Finley. And he finds Daniels. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 40.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Switch.
Look at me. Go.
On second down, it's Rose. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. On third down, Finley. And that will be incomplete.
That's it, baby. That's it.
On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Johnson was the intended receiver. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage. and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Second and 10.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
General West.
Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, let's go.
They go play action. Finley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll start on the ground with Mack. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rush into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Watch a slant, watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Now.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
Ready? 18 Gator.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Hey, watch the lane.
And they will take a knee here.
On the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Houston, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon.
Yeah. Going up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got